Hello, everyone! Today, we will learn how to drive and operate a forklift safely. Needless to say, it is our responsibility to ensure the safety and integrity of the cargo tendered from our valued customers. To do so, we must put ourselves in the customer's position and drive and operate the forklift thinking safety first. The forklift is a handy and useful instrument for moving and loading cargo. But if we should make one mistake, it could also be a dangerous weapon. We would like to show you the 10 rules for driving and operating a forklift. It will teach you the do's and don'ts of driving and operating a forklift. Now, let's start. Rule 1. Check the skid, fork, and cargo behind before you start handling. The skid looks broken. Is it safe? Hey, watch out! The cargo is leaning, and it almost fell over. The sack is sagging from the skid. What will happen if you enter the fork as it is? Of course, it will tear the sack. If you don't check the tip of the fork when storing cargo, you might pierce the cargo stored behind it. It is also dangerous when picking up cargo. The width of the fork looks narrow. Is it safe? If you don't adjust the width of the fork, you could drop the cargo or make it fall over. The width of the fork looks narrow. It is also dangerous when breaking down or building up cargo. Someone is checking behind the cargo. He is hidden and can't be seen. The operator is entering the fork under the skid, even though there is someone standing behind. If you don't check behind cargo, it could be very dangerous in many ways. What should we do to prevent accidents like these? First, when building up, use appropriate skids that fit the shape of cargo. Do not use skids like these. At JAL Cargo, we use two types of skids, a small skid and a large skid. Forklift operators should also change skids before lifting or during transport if you think that it is dangerous. When storing cargo, put the cargo in front. Pull back the fork so that the tip of the fork does not protrude, and slowly move forward until you reach the location for storage. When picking up cargo, enter the fork halfway. Pull out the skid slowly. Make sure there is room between the cargo behind. Enter the fork again, and then take out the skid. Follow the same steps when unloading cargo from a truck or a ULD. Pull out the fork twice and enter the fork twice to avoid piercing cargo with the fork. Let's see how to unload cargo correctly. The important thing is to adjust the width of the fork to suit the shape of the cargo. Adjust it so that the cargo is stable when you pick it up with a fork. Next, lower and raise the fork slowly and calmly. The same applies when breaking down or building up cargo. Adjust the width of the fork with the size of the cargo. In case you cannot see behind large or tall cargo, get off the forklift and make sure that it is safe. Next, let's see the types of forklifts that are used and the relation between the length of the fork and marking. The reach forklift is used for storing movable racks. The 1-ton forklift is used in refrigerator rooms and smoke rooms. The 2-ton forklift is used for storing and transporting. The 3-ton forklift is used for unloading cargo from trucks and for build-up and breakdown. Please use appropriate forklifts to suit the size and weight of cargo. As for L and LL size forks, a white marking is given about 100 centimeters from the fork tip as a guide, so that the fork tip does not protrude even if you enter the fork under one skid. Please use the marking to ensure safe handling. Rule 2. Prevent cargo from falling and check balance. The wrapping seems loose. Is it all right? If the wrapping is loose, the cargo could fall when you step on the brakes or during transport due to vibrations. If the wrapping is tight, cargo can be transported safely. The cargo is tall, but it is not strapped. Is it safe? Watch out, it's dangerous! Let's tie a strap around the cargo. Fasten securely and tighten it so that the strap does not loosen. It's tightly secured. Please use the strap for sensitive cargo, unstable cargo, and tall cargo. The center of gravity is not clear, so it's dangerous. If weight is not even, the cargo could lean or fall if you lift it up suddenly. The first person to handle top-heavy cargo or unbalanced cargo should affix a memo onto the cargo and inform persons in the next process. The forklift operator should read the memo carefully and operate the forklift while taking care of the center of gravity and balance. Rule 3. Assign a guide man for special handling and when visibility is poor. The forklift operator is unloading cargo from a truck. There is no guide man. Is it all right? Watch out! He doesn't notice that the fork is caught in the cargo behind. It's dangerous for the forklift operator to judge the situation alone. The operator is loading cargo onto the truck without a guide man. It is dangerous. Let's see how to correctly drive and operate a forklift when loading and unloading cargo to and from a truck. First, ask the truck driver to act as guide man. The guide man should stand where he can check the cargo. Ask him to call out and guide. Please operate the forklift and move forward and backward carefully and calmly. When handling super-sensitive machines or oversized cargo, such as a stepper or an aircraft engine, coordinate closely with the guide man. Call out to each other and handle cargo carefully. Rule 4. Make sure that it is safe in the direction you are moving, especially when backing up. The rear wheels of a forklift serve as the rudder. When you turn the steering wheel, the rear end of the forklift will make a large turn. Watch out for pedestrians and cargo and steer carefully. The operator is trying to store cargo into a narrow place. Is he checking the left and right directions? He seems to be concentrating only on the right side. He should be careful of cargo on the opposite side, too. Please check the direction you are moving in, and both the left and right sides. Assign a guide man, especially when it is difficult to see. When backing up, the rear is a blind spot. It is difficult to see pedestrians and vehicles that are approaching, so you must be especially careful. Turn back and make sure that it is safe on both sides to the rear before moving. Rule 5. When carrying cargo, back up with a fork 15 to 20 centimeters above the ground. It is very dangerous if you drive with a forklift with a fork raised like this. Never drive like this. After you pull out the cargo, back up, put it down on the floor, adjust the height to about 15 centimeters from the ground, and check the rear before moving. It is very dangerous if you drive forward without any cargo with a fork raised like this. Pedestrians must not cross directly in front of a forklift. If the fork is low, the skid could drop from the fork like this. An accident could happen if the height and angle of the fork is inappropriate. Be careful the lower part of the mast and fork tip do not touch the ground. The important points when driving a forklift are: keep the fork at the height of 15 to 20 centimeters from the ground. Adjust the backrest to the fork height marking of the mast. When loaded with cargo, back up as a rule. Check the rear when backing up. Rule 6. Keep to the speed limit, maximum 8 kilometers per hour, and stop at stop lines. He seems to be speeding, and he isn't keeping a distance from the forklift in front. It could be very dangerous if someone stepped out. Follow the speed limit of 8 kilometers per hour. You are driving at the right speed if you can see the white marking on the tires. Keep a distance of 1 forklift. He is speeding. Check the speed in the monitor and drive at the appropriate speed. Even if you slow down, if you run over wooden debris on the ground, it could cause cargo to lean or change the color of the shock watch. If there are wooden debris or other fallen objects, be sure to pick them up. Any surface can be bumpy or have uneven surfaces, and cargo can vibrate over uneven surfaces. Slow down and drive carefully over bumpy or uneven surfaces. Watch out! He could have been injured. Always stop at stop lines, exits and entrances, and places with poor visibility. Be sure that it is safe. Rule 7. Don't make sudden turns or race the engine. If you suddenly change gear, cargo could fall and get run over by the front tires. When switching from reverse to forward, stop once and make sure that it is safe before moving. When making sudden turns, it could cause wrapped cargo to come undone or fall due to centrifugal force. If you make sudden turns when carrying unstrapped tall cargo, it will fall for sure. Stepping on the brakes suddenly could cause cargo to lean. Follow the speed limit and take time to step on the brakes slowly. Slow down when making turns. Rule 8. Don't move or turn while raising or lowering the fork. If you move or turn the forklift while lowering the fork when unloading cargo, you could drop the cargo or cause it to fall over. It is dangerous. It is also dangerous if you move or turn the forklift while raising the fork when loading cargo. Let's see how it is correctly done. Stop, facing the cargo squarely. Lift the fork to the height of the fork entry and spread the fork to the appropriate width. Slowly and carefully enter the fork. After pulling it out, stop, adjust the height, and check the rear before backing up. This time, let's see how to build up cargo. Cargo is transported while moving in reverse. Switch forward slowly and stop once before lifting the fork. Adjust the fork to the position above the lower cargo and load. When taking out cargo from the rack, do not lower the fork while moving the forklift. Similarly, when storing cargo into the rack, do not lift the fork while moving the forklift. If you drop the cargo from the upper rack, it could cause a serious accident. Stop squarely facing the rack, then slowly lift the fork. Once you take out the cargo, slowly lower the fork and carry the cargo at about 15 centimeters from the ground. When storing cargo into the rack, stop squarely facing the rack and slowly lift the fork to the rack. When unloading cargo from a truck, do not drive or turn while lowering or lifting the fork. Rule 9. Don't do two things at once while driving. Don't stick your foot out driving. Don't allow anyone else or place anything in the driver's seat. It is forbidden to use the wireless. It is forbidden to use the cell phone while driving. It is dangerous if you drive with your legs sticking out from the driver's seat. No one but the driver should be in the driver's seat. And don't put anything in the driver's seat. It could obstruct driving and operation and is very dangerous. This is not a place for keeping things. Rule 10. Fork down, side brake, neutral gear, engine stop when parking. If you think you have put on the side brake but haven't, the forklift will start moving. This is very dangerous. If you are in a hurry, it could happen to anyone. The operating procedures for parking a forklift are as follows. Put the gear into neutral. Put on the side brake. Lower the fork until it is flat on the floor. Stop the engine. After executing the above, get off the forklift. We have just seen the 10 rules for driving and operating a forklift. Did you understand each rule? Statistics of irregularities show that forklifts were involved in most of the accidents. Each forklift operator should follow the basic procedures to ensure safety. And the 10 rules are the basics for driving and operating a forklift. The 10 rules are affixed on all forklifts that we use. Please check them before you get on. No matter how busy you are, no matter what kind of job you do, no matter if you are a veteran staff, always go back to the basics. Follow the 10 rules and put top priority on safety in your everyday work.